Welcome. Here are a few things that you can do to warm up your spine and bring some blood flow and greater flexibility to the body. So we're going to start on our backs. And have the feet flat, knees bent. And bring the hands onto the abdomen. Let the fingertips just lightly touch one another. And we're just going to begin with some belly breathing, something very simple to relax and calm the nervous system and slow down the thoughts in the mind. So inhale, just breathe into your belly, full breath in, and feel the belly expand like a balloon. And then on the exhalation, feel the belly button sink towards the back, so just right towards the spine. Again, you're going to inhale and just feel the belly expand wide like a balloon. As you do that, the fingertips are going to gently part. And as you exhale, the navel sinks back towards the spine and the fingertips are coming closer together. So just a few rounds here of this belly breathing. So when the mind is busy, we tend to breathe primarily in the chest, and breathing down into the belly helps to facilitate the part of our nervous system that helps us to restore. Now, it's okay if your breath is only at 1 or 2 counts, but start to slow it down as much as possible without causing any strain. Keep relaxing. Inhale, belly expands wide like a balloon. Exhale, navel sinks back towards the spine. Maintain the breath in and out through the nostrils. Remember that yoga is primarily a practice of breathing. There is physical movement linked with breath, and this together helps to create the healing. One can do simply stretching without conscious breathing and have some physical effect. But when you add in the element of conscious, deliberate breath, suddenly the practice, the experience is much more fulfilling and holistically healing. Now, move your hands to your rib cage. Just let the fingertips lightly touch. And now see if you can expand your breath. So breathing into the belly. And now the rib cage widens out to the side. And then as you exhale, bring the navel back to the spine like you were doing before. And then bring the rib cage just a little closer together so the fingertips touch. A few rounds of just breathing like that. Inhaling, belly swells. Rib cage expands. Exhaling, navel sinks towards the back body. And rib cage comes closer together. Now, if you're comfortable with that 2-part breath, you can go to the last one, which is just to bring your hands onto your chest. And as you inhale, just breathe into the belly first, then widen the rib cage, and now feel the chest expand. A full, complete diaphragmatic breath. And then as you exhale, the navel sinks back towards the spine, rib cage comes closer together, and the chest softens. So again, inhaling, filling the belly wide. Rib cage expands and then chest opens, those fingers will part. And then exhale, navel sinks towards the back body. Rib cage comes closer together and the chest softens. A few more rounds of that full diaphragmatic breath. And hopefully by now you've been able to add maybe at least 1 count into the length of your breath. And try to make that as smooth as possible. So inhale, flowing right into exhale, floating right into inhale. Now, as you continue that breath, we're just going to bring the arms down by your side and just link breath with movement. So inhale, the arms are just going to simply reach up over the head, full breath, belly, ribs, chest. And then exhale, belly, ribs, chest, as the arms come down at the exact same rate. So the key here is really to try to link the movement to the breath. So inhaling, belly, ribs, chest, as the arms reach overhead. Exhaling, belly, ribs, chest, as the arms come back down by your side. Good. Continue with your breath count. Remember here, the breath is gentle, relaxed, not strained or stressed in any way. And it's in and out through the nostrils. You might be able to notice that as the arms reach overhead and you breathe in, there's sort of a reduction of the thoracic curve of the spine, which allows the heart and chest to open a little bit more. And then as those arms come back down by your side and you feel the navel hug in towards the back body, there's a little reduction there of that lumbar curve. And just a few more rounds here. This alone is going to create some flexibility for the back. So depending on how tight you are, this will be a very impactful yet gentle practice. Last one. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to inhale, reach the arms over the head. And now this time, leaving the hands over the head, you're going to exhale and bend your elbows out wide and just slide your arms down by your side. So they look like goalpost arms. Sometimes they call it scarecrow arms. And then inhale, just straighten the arms back up over the head. So inhaling, full breath, belly, ribs, chest. Now exhale, bend the elbows toward your side body, slide your arms across the floor. Feel how that opens up the chest muscles, the top and front of the shoulders, as well as just creating a little bit of a reduction again of that thoracic curve in the upper back. So keep moving in and out with your breath. Again, try your best to link the movement of the breath with the movement of the body and vice versa. All right, last one here. And then just let your arms come down by your side and take a moment to feel any changes that might be there in the body. So it's really important that we stay aware of the subtleties of the practice, because those little experiences are small accomplishments that we begin to sense and enjoy from our practice. Most of us are so busy rushing around from one thing to the next that we often don't give ourselves a chance to really enjoy whatever it is that we've just participated in. So now we're going to bring the right knee into the chest and extend your left leg long to the floor. Now, if that's not possible, you can always take a bolster, a pillow, a rolled up blanket, and put that underneath the knee so that there's some support there. And you can wrap your fingers around your shin bone to the best of your ability and hug your knee in. Now, if that also is not available, you can use a strap and wrap the strap around the shin bone and then hold on to that. And if you don't have a strap at home, that's totally fine. You can use a men's tie if you have something like that, or a rope. So you can make this possible even if you don't have yoga props at your home. So you're going to pull that right knee into your chest as much as possible, and at the same time, can you try to engage your left leg and push that foot away? So it's almost like the legs are moving in two opposite directions. Good, one more breath here. And even though we're working with the spine, and we're feeling here that this is a stretch for the hip flexor, what we begin to understand is that it's all connected. And so sometimes tension in the legs or the hips can be contributing to some sort of pain in the back. And then give that leg a rest, bring it down, and switch. So take the left knee into your chest now and extend the right leg long. And again, it doesn't have to be much, but make sure that you're continuing that breath that we've worked with. So the belly, ribs, chest as you inhale, belly, ribs, chest as you exhale. Again, keep pushing your supporting leg away while you draw this knee closer to the chest. One more full breath here, please. Good. Now releasing that, we're going to actually bring both knees into the chest. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you to bring both knees in the chest and you happen to have a chair nearby, you can also just place the feet, or rather the calves, onto the chair, and that will be a little support for you. If you can, place your hands on top of your knees with your fingertips pointing towards your toes. As you exhale, you're going to bring your knees as close to your chest as possible, drawing your navel towards your spine. And then as you inhale, you're going to push your knees away just to the length of your arms, so just arm's distance. And then exhale, once again, navel hugs the back body and the knees come into the chest. Inhale the knees away. And this is called Apanasana. This is a dynamic variation of Apanasana, so we're moving with the breath. And it's one of the postures we use quite a bit in yoga, particularly for back sensitivity. And this is considered a counter pose. This is something we do to bring everything back to a sense of homeostasis. So if you get really heavy in your hips while you're doing this, you'll begin to feel just that little massage over the lower portion of your spine. So the sacral bone, that triangular bone near the base. And it's a nice massage there. Also for the internal organs, as the knees pull into the chest, and there's that compression. And then as the knees move away, and a little more space. So one more here like this. Now, if this is comfortable for you, you can continue it. If you'd like to change it a little bit, you can push the knees away to arm's distance, open the knees out wide, and then circle them back to your chest. So it's like you're making two half moons. You're going to inhale the knees away, and then exhale the knees out wide as you circle them back into your chest. Again, you may still feel that nice massage over the sacral bone as you do this. There's a lot of indication that a lot of tension in those hips, or particularly the gluteal area, can pull on that lower back. And once you go in one direction here for a few rounds, you can switch it by opening the knees out wide first as you inhale them, then away. And then exhale together, the knees will come back to your chest. So you're inhaling, opening them out wide as the knees move away, and exhaling them back to your chest. And just a few more rounds in this direction. And sometimes that little shift exposes some new areas of tension or new areas that want attention to be paid to it. Make sure you keep all of this linked with your breath. Good, last one here. Then bring the feet flat, just rest them on the earth. And hands on the belly one more time, tap into belly breathing. Just that calm for the nervous system here. Now, if you'd like to go a little deeper, we can do a little more work for the hips just in preparation for some spinal work. So wrap the strap, if you have one, around your foot and extend the right leg straight. Keep the left knee bent. Now, if that's not possible or you just don't have a strap, you can also interlace your fingers around the back of the leg. So to the best of your ability, you're going to straighten that leg. And it's okay if you have a bend in your knee. That's perfectly fine. What we like to do is we just want to try our best to lift through the heel of the foot and pull the pinky toe side of that foot back. As you lift through the heel, pull the pinky toe side of the foot back. Just feel some elongation in the back of the leg. And then if you want, you can also make small little circles with the leg. Just really small, tiny to start. And if some flexibility starts to come in and it feels a little bit more comfortable to open, then you can take your circles a little wider, or maybe just hold the strap with the right hand. And just feel that release there. Good. And then we're taking that strap off the foot or releasing the hands from behind the thigh. You're just going to place the right foot on top of your left knee. Now the right knee is going to open up, so we're getting into more of the rotators of the hip here. And if this is just enough for you, making this number 4 pose with your legs is perfectly fine. If you'd like to go deeper, you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and pull that thigh closer to your chest. So you're lifting the left leg off the floor. And this is a much deeper stretch for that right hip. So as you breathe, you want to not only feel belly, ribs, chest, exhaling belly, ribs, chest, but also breathe directly into the sensation. So you can actually, through the power of your mind, increase the sensation just by inhaling into it and feeling a relaxation on the exhalation as you let go. One more breath. Good. Place the left foot back down to the floor. Take the right foot now down to the floor, and we're just going to switch sides. So the right foot stays flat, knee bent, and the left leg goes up in the air. And again, without a strap, you're just going to hook your hands around the back of the thigh. You can do that with a bend in the knee. If you happen to have a strap, you can use that. And just start to make those, first extend the foot through the foot. So as you're reaching up through the foot, pull the pinky toe side back. So just get some length there in the back of the leg before you start moving in. Belly, ribs, chest breathing, exhaling, belly, ribs, chest. Now, if you want to start making those small little circles, just start simple, not too much space, not too much movement. And if the body starts to warm up or you feel this gets more comfortable, then you can go a little bit further with those circles. Maybe hold the strap with just the left hand now and let the circles really widen. And just that rotation there in the hip joint, just the movement itself helps to create some lubrication. So bring some health to that joint. These joints are surrounded with a lot of connective tissue, which is not very vascular. So we have a hard time getting a lot of blood flow into those areas. And that's intentional, of course, but we do, if we have any kind of injury there or any healings needed, we do want to get some sort of blood into that area to assist that. Good. Now you can release the strap. Take the left foot now on top of the right knee, and you're going to open the left knee out wide. So again, just this number 4 pose, especially if you're tight in the hips, may be enough. If you want to go deeper, you're going to interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and just pull that leg as close to the chest as you can. Now keep flexing both feet. So as you flex both feet, that's going to protect the left knee. And just breathe again into those areas of sensation. And if you tend to have a sedentary lifestyle, you might find that your hips are quite tight. And we sit a lot in our culture. Good, just 2 more here, please. And your last breath, you'll just finish by slowly lowering that right foot back down to the floor, and then both feet will be flat, both knees bent. And if it's comfortable for you, you can lean the knees into one another in the midline and just rest for a moment, once again with the hands on the belly and just feeling that belly breathing. Good. Now I'd like to do a little bit for the upper back. And so if you have a blanket that you can roll up so that you can create your own type of bolster, here you would just roll it as best as you can, and you're going to place it between your shoulder blades, and you're going to lay back on the blanket. If you don't have anything like that, but you have a pillow, you can always put the pillow there too. And certainly if you have a nice long foam roller, you can place a foam roller down. Now, if you have a lot of back sensitivity, be very mindful, particularly in that lumbar spine, of not overarching. So if this is too much, you can always do this straight. But what's nice about having this little bit of a lift is that it allows the shoulders and the shoulder blades to roll over the block, or the blanket or the bolster. And all we're going to do is we're going to reach both arms up in the air, have them straight overhead, and inhale, stretch your right arm longer than your left. So you're extending out from that shoulder. Now let that shoulder head go down into its socket and then switch. Stretch the left arm longer than the right. And as you do that, you're extending out through the shoulder, and then you're going to let it sink back down in the socket. So just do this a couple more times, inhaling. You're reaching away out of that and exhaling. Inhale, reach again. And exhale. I'm just going to create some opening there in the upper back. Those rhomboids in between the shoulder blades get really tight on so many of us. And if we have any kind of rounding in that upper back, so we have sort of what they call kyphosis or that hunchback, which many people tend to get, this is a very good way to create some therapeutics to reverse some of that curve. And certainly in order for that to happen, repetition would be the key. So doing a practice like this for, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day is really helpful. And we will begin to see some results after some time. Good, last one here. And then just relax the arms back down. Now you can leave the arms out wide. Palms facing up will help to open up the shoulders. And again, if you don't want to hold up the legs, you can just TP them in towards the midline. And go back to that belly breathing, belly, ribs, chest on inhale, exhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. Remember breathing in and out through the nostrils, and continue to stay relaxed. Good, one more. And then as you exhale, you can just gently roll over onto one side to slide that blanket, pillow, whatever you have out of the way. And then roll back onto your back one more time, and just notice, does it feel like the upper back is sitting a little closer to the floor? Just a little more settled. And then we'll have the arms by the side, have the feet flat. We're just going to do some very gentle dynamic bridge. So just slowly start to lift the spine off the floor. Now, it doesn't matter how high you go. You want to go to what you're comfortable with. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly roll down. And this is working your whole postural chain, really those spinal muscles that help to support the posture. So pressing equally into both feet. Try to avoid letting those knees splay out to the side. Keep them parallel as you roll up on inhalation and exhale as you roll down. Now, if there's a lot of weakness in the back, you might find that you need a little extra support. So if you had a block or something like that nearby, a book is fine too. You can squeeze that between your inner thighs. And that will just assure that you're supporting the whole postural chain with the work and support of the legs. Now you can continue inhaling, exhaling. If you're feeling a little stronger today, you can do this with the arms reaching over the head, and the arms will move at the same rate as the spine. And you're exhaling as you slowly come down and try to move the arms at the same rate as the spine as well. And you really want to relax the glutes completely as you come down. So inhaling, if you're working with the arms reach overhead as the spine lifts off the earth. And then exhale, you're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Try to lengthen the sit bones towards the heels as you come down. So you want to feel more and more space. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Now, a nice little trick that you can do to create a little more room along the side body is that you can keep the left hand down and inhale the right arm up as you reach up. And now you could leave that arm over the head as you exhale and just bring the spine down. So one vertebrae at a time, and feel that extra stretch along the right side of the body. And then inhale, you'll press into the feet and roll up again. And now that right arm and spine can come all the way down. Just take your time with your breath to do so. And then the other side. So we'll inhale, the left arm reaches up. As you roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, keep pressing into the feet. And then leave the arm overhead as you exhale and you slowly roll down. And really think of lengthening the hips towards the heels. And you'll feel that extra traction along the left side. And then pressing into the feet, you're going to roll up again. One vertebrae at a time. And then arm and spine come down at the same rate. Good. And we'll just take a little break there. You can, if you had a block between your legs, you can release it. Once again, hands just rest on the belly and check in with your belly breathing. And if the body is feeling like the breath is a little strained, that was a little bit more effort for you, then you can just take as much time as you need to let the breath cool down. Just slow it back down. Good. Now, coming off the floor, we'll just roll over onto our right side and rest in fetal position for a moment. If you can, have the arm under the head as a pillow for support. You can bend the elbow if that's easier. Gives you a little more height. And then placing the left hand into the earth, you'll slowly come back up into seated. Now you can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. If sitting cross-legged is not available, you can sit on a chair. And we're going to just do a little bit more side stretching here for the laterals. So right fingertips to the floor, inhale the left arm up. Now if you're on a chair, you're just going to have that right hand holding onto the bottom of the chair. Inhale as tall as you can. You want to get as much height as possible. And then you're just going to lean over to the right. And just go to where you're comfortable. Keep your head neutral, so don't strain the neck in any way. Let it just follow the natural pattern of the spine. And now as you're breathing, breathe right into that left side. Feel the lungs expanding. Feel the rib bones widening. And just find that smooth inhale, exhale breath. And then inhale, lift the left arm up. Come back up into seated. Exhale as it comes down. If you're on a chair, you can just place your hands on top of your knees. And then we'll do the other side. So left hand to the floor, inhale the right arm up. Or if you're on a chair, you're holding on to the bottom of the chair. And you're just going to walk the hand out or have that firm grip as you lean over to the left. And don't lift the right hip off the floor or off the chair. Try to keep that anchored so that you're really extending or expanding through that right side body. Again, neck is neutral. There's no need to lift the chin. No need to look up at the arm. Just keep it in a comfortable position in alignment with the spine. Breathe here. Expanding through the rib cage, just a little bit more breath into that area each time. Navel hugs the back body on exhale. Good, and then come all the way back up with your next inhale. And again, if you're on that chair, you can just place your hands on your knees. And just feel that. Again, it doesn't take much, but that little bit of movement is starting energy flow and blood flow to those areas to create health. Good. And the last thing I'd like to do here is a gentle twist. So a gentle twist means you're only going to about 45% of what you're capable of doing. And again, you can do this if you're on a chair. You can hold on to the back of the chair with the right hand and take the left hand down to your knee. You're going to inhale as tall as you can and exhale. Just twist a little bit to the right. It's very gentle. Do not overdo it. Just enough that you feel just a little squeezing there of those spinal muscles. Some sensation, but definitely no pain. And if you're not on a chair, you can just let that right hand behind you stay on the floor as long as it's comfortable. Keep lifting through the back of the skull and create as much space in your spine as possible. Rotate just a little deeper to the right. Exhale, pulls the navel towards the back body. And it's really important to engage those abdomens or the abdominal muscles so that you are supporting the spine. And then gently release and unwind. Again, just rest your hands on your knees, in either position that you would be in, and then we'll do the other side. So again, you're on a chair, you're just going to hold onto the back of the chair with your left hand and take the right hand to the outside of the knee or thigh. If you're on the floor, you can just let the hand go behind you. You're going to sit as tall as you can first. And remember, it's only about 45% of what you're capable of doing. So you're not twisting very deeply here. The body's not that warmed up. And the key is to make sure that you can maintain a full and complete breath. You might find here again that as you feel sensation, the mind can actually direct the breath more deeply into those areas. The inhale can help to intensify them, and the exhale can help to release them. Again, only a little twist, nothing too crazy, very gentle. And then slowly release. Just come back into seated and rest. Good. And then just bring your hands to your heart and just bow your head to your hands. A nice way to complete your practice for this very gentle, therapeutic back opening exercise. And enjoy. Namaste.